Today I'm speaking to Minister Pablo Rodriguez. He won TLN's 10 Most Influential Hispanic Canadians in 2009, and he's here to talk to us about his career and just how difficult it was as a Hispanic. Pablo, thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure, Camila. I remember 2009, that's a while ago. I had black hair at the time. Wow.
You won it when you were 6 years old, right?
Well, not exactly, but I was a member of parliament at the time, and I have to say that it was an honor to win it.
So back then, can you talk to us about where you were in your career and the highlight that it was being able to win an award this prestigious?
Well, I was a member of parliament, and in the opposition, because the Conservatives had one, and I was in charge of culture. Actually, I had the same job, but on the other side. So I was a critic of the shadow cabinet for culture, and also try to get more Latinos, more Hispanic involved in politics, because I realized early on that not enough people were interested by a political career, or not enough people devoted time to that.
And we know how important it is today to have representation of our community, Hispanic, Asian, etc. I think every community needs to have some sort of presence in the Canadian government. Have you found that there's more Latinos now than back when you started?
One more. Now we double. I mean, in my caucus. Well, yeah, I was the only one before, and well, there's Julie Zoritz also, but from Quebec. No, there's Soraya Martinez, who's Chilean, and she joined the team a couple of years ago. So we're happy to have her on board. In Montreal, we have on the executive, we have an Argentinian, Josefina Blanco, who's there. So we see a bit more Latinos coming in.
And there's entry barriers to all levels of politics. I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done before you can actually be a reputable candidate. But do you find that there's more entry barriers being Hispanic or being an immigrant?
I think, you know what's the biggest barrier here? It's among ourselves. If we think we can't do it, then we'll never do it. It is. Is it a bit more difficult? Yes, it can be sometimes. I remember when I ran the first time, Pablo Rodriguez. I mean, you're not a Francophone in Quebec, you're not an Anglophone either, or where's that come from? But people, I think, are open to that. But the most important thing is that you have to believe in yourself and say, you know what, wherever I come from, I can do it.
And so what advice would you have for young Canadians or
people?
Just
do it. Do it.
Well, there's got to be something more than just wanting to.
Yeah, well, you have to join, if you're interested, for example, in provincial or federal politics, you have to join a party. So, and no party's perfect, right? So you have to look for the party that is closer to your principles, to your values, to ideals. And you start volunteering, which I did. I started very young, and I became president of the Young Liberals of Canada. Then I became president of the party. So I was the first immigrant to be president of the Young Liberals of Canada, president of the party in Quebec, first immigrant also. And then it went on from there to become a member of parliament. I mean, it's a privilege. I have a say. I'm a member of a team. I'm also a minister, which means I'm around the table where 35 people sit. So it's incredible. If you think about it, when I was young, I came here and didn't speak a word of English or French, learned French, and then many years after English. That's why I have an accent in English, but not in French.
So, Pablo, we're asking all of our winners, you are a very influential person in our community, but we want to know who's the person that inspires you the most.
The person that inspired me the most was my father, who just passed away a month ago, because we came here as political refugees. He was in prison. He was tortured. Our house blew up. They put 2 bombs in there. We're all injured. I was 7 years at the time. And we came to Canada, and my father looked at me and said, I always remember this, because we barely survived. And he looked at me and says, my son, this is a land of opportunity. You can do whatever you want, but please, no politics. He changed his mind after I won 6 elections, but he then went on cleaning houses because his diploma were not recognized, so I was helping him. My mother was, cooking, and they were both over there, lawyer and professor, and they redid everything up to the PhD and became university professors. So when someone tells me, oh, it's impossible, or this and that, no. It is tough, but it's possible. We went from nothing. We went to food counters,
food banks, yes.
Food bank, because we didn't have the money to buy, food on a regular basis. People would give us clothes, and we went from there to both my fathers being university professors, because in this country it's possible. Not that it's easy, but it's possible. And there's 3 kids. Well, I mean, we didn't do that bad.
Yeah, they did a great job. Amazing, Pablo. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.